My name is Muhammad Asyraf bin Muhammad AZHAR B1123101050. I want to explain about equation of dot plot. This is our equation for transfer function. First, label at equation. Example, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And then make the transfer function from equation. Example, last, we calculate to find gain K. And last, for this equation, make a new equation to create a graph. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ARSYAD bin MAZLI. My metric number is B112310151. I want to show how to plot the graph. Step first, we share the equation 10 JW over 1 plus JW over 2 multiplied by 1 plus JW over 10. Step 1, gain 20 log 10 equal to 20. So the graph will be step 2. Step 2, show JW. JW means zero origin. The graph will show third, it show at the equation 1 plus JW over 2. Okay, this is a simple pole. Okay, the graph last step 1 plus JW over 10. This is simple pole. Okay, the graph okay, that's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syafiq bin Sulaiman and my number metric is B1123100029. So I will explain how make the graph. So my friend already explained about the four transfer function at our equation. So here I want to show how we plot the graph. The first thing is we make the graph of the gain. So we can start 20 at horizontal. Second graph is 0 at origin. This is 0 at origin at slope 20 dB. The third is simple pole. So before we make the simple pole, our simple pole show that the pole is 2. So at the origin X, we must identify where is 2 first. So we label 2 right here. It's 2, and then you can make the simple pole. We go to negative 20 slope. Alright. So 3. Negative 20. And then the last one, simple pole 2. But our pole is 10. Like this until 10, and then slope go down at negative 20 dB. Plus negative 20 dB. So we already plot the graph at 4 transfer function. I will make the actual graph, the combination of 4 transfer function. The first is gain at slope 0 plus gain plus 0 at origin at 20 dB. So the slope will be 0 plus 20 equal to 20. So the slope will be 20. So before we sketch the graph, we must identify the between 1 and 2 has not any change, which means its change start from 2. So we must make our line to guide our stop. So the slope will be positive 20. Alright, so right now the change start is 2. So 2 is negative 20 dB. So before that we must calculate at 20 dB minus 20 dB equal to 0. So our graph will be horizontal. Before that we must take a line, because it start change at 10. Alright. Then the last part is our slope. The current slope is 0 dB. Our simple pole, the slope is negative 20 dB. So which means is negative 20 dB. So it will go down. So like this. Alright. So that's how we plot the graph. That's all for me. Thank you so much.
AEEZAD make HASBY. My entry number is B1123101134. Today I'll be continuing from my teammate members assignment. So for my part, I will explain how to find an equation from a dot plot given. So here we have a graph decibel against omega radian per second. Here we can split the graph into 4 parts. So this first part, first, second, and 4. So we're going to do it one by one. So from the first part, we can find gain K at the graph. So based on the graph, you can see that the graph begins under 20 decibel. So based on the transfer function equation, we know that 20 log 10k equal to 20. So we using k as a subject to find the value. Therefore, we get k equal to 10. So this is the first part. Okay. For the second part, so you can see there's an increase in the graph, increasing at with a value of 20. So to create the graph, it is a continuous from the first part of the graph. Here you can see it is increased as much as 20. So to create the graph, it must be increasing 20 decibel. We refer to the transfer function graph. You can see that if a zero origin, the graph it begins from decibel. So based on the graph, on the transfer function graph, the zero origin, you can see that the graph begins from y-axis, which is the dB axis. But the simple zero, it started increase from the z value. So if we back to our graph, so you can see that it started from value of 10, then it increased. Therefore, it uses the simple zero. So for the simple zero equation, it's 1 plus JW over Z, and the Z value we can get from the graph, which is 10. Therefore, the equation is 1 plus JW over 10. On the third part of the graph shows a horizontal line. Therefore, it means that the slope for third part equal to 0, which means we must find the slope must be negative 20 decibel. We knew that there's an increase from the second part of the graph here. From 20 to 40, it increased by 20. Therefore, the slope must be 0. So if we look back from the second part of the graph, it is increased plus 20 decibel. So to gain the 0 value or a horizontal value with a slope of 0, 20 dB, we need to make the slope to find it for it to be negative 20 decibel. Why? Because the increasing of the graph from the graph now, we know that it is 20 decibel, and the value that we need is negative 20 dB or minus 20 dB for it to get 0. Therefore, our graph roughly will look like this. So, to know that the graph is decreasing, we use a simple pole because it will change till 100 omega. So for the simple pole, or for the third part, the equation will be based on the transfer function. So the value of B is the x-axis, or what we call omega radian per second. So here you can see that it is started to change its course from increasing to horizontal at the value of 100. Therefore, we substitute the P to 100. Okay, so the graph for the based on the transfer function is like this. So at the 100. Okay, for the last part from the graph, it shows a decreasing which means again the slope that we need is negative 20 decibel. Still need negative 20 decibel. So we use again the same equation as the graph number 3. We know that the slope from 3, the slope is 0. So 0 minus with 20 dB equal to 20 dB. And the starting change of the graph is from 1000. So P is 1000 omega based on the graph. Okay, so here you can see that graph started to declining from 1000. See, from the slope 0 and begin to declining at 1000 omega. So we use again a simple pole based on the transfer function. A simple pole equal to 1 over 1 plus JW over P. So since we know that the course of the graph change at the value of 1000, we just substitute the value of P as 1000. So now we can conclude that the equation of the transfer function is HW equal to 10 from the first graph, and we have 1 plus JW over 10 from the second part of the graph, over the part is 1 JW over 100 plus 1K over 100. So this is the last equation based on the transfer function given. So that's all from me.